Thomas could add nothing to the information that Fionn had already provided. Despite his appearance, Thea realized quickly that Thomas was also ageless born, which explained how he had managed to pull the lock out of the door. Once she had spoken to Thomas, the steward flatly refused when Thea asked to search the house. It was her master's property, and she was protective of his privacy even in death. And Thea had no grounds to insist. They were far outside the city limits and the jurisdiction of the watch, and Reardon had disappeared. He had left with the examiner and physician, Fionn said. Apparently he thought he should escort the pair and the body back to the city. Thea wished that Reardon had stayed. She wanted to glare at him some more and get him to order Fionn to allow a search. The steward might obstruct a member of the watch, but Thea suspected she would stand aside for one of the ageless. After some discussion, Fionn reluctantly agreed to let Niath use his magic to detect how many people were in the building, and then confirmed the number reported by Niath as being the household staff, all accounted for. With a fortified house, surrounded by magic, and with many members of staff trained in using weapons, there should have been little mystery as to who had killed Borden Hannaford. It should have been one of the staff. And yet, despite a long night of questioning every member of the household with Niath, putting in the occasional query as well, when dawn arrived, Thea was no closer to an answer than she had been when they had first arrived and seen the body. Fionn and several of the other household members readily admitted to being trained in weaponry, and although she would not give them free run of the house, the steward seemed to realize that the weapons were relevant. She showed Thea and Niath to the house's armory, a small windowless room, packed from floor to ceiling with enough weapons to keep a small army supplied. Thea had never seen so many weapons gathered together in her life. Her skin crawled at being in the presence of the potential for so much harm. They were outside the city limits, though. From Reardon's reaction and the contents of the armory, it seemed that the prohibition that the Archon had placed on weapons only extended to a canter. Thea suspected that if the Archon saw this room, she would be quick to forbid these weapons too, but for now, they were legal. None of their weapons were missing, Fionn said. The knife that had killed the master had not come from within the house. At least not the weapons that the house's steward knew about. There had also been no disturbance in the magic around the house. All the staff carried a token, which let them pass through the magic without raising any alarm. Thea had a moment of hope, wondering if one of the tokens had gone missing, which was dashed by Fionn shaking her head. All the tokens were accounted for. The steward had personally checked them, and in the short time she had known Fionn, Thea was confident that the steward had done her job thoroughly. With every possible avenue of questioning closing faster than she could keep track, Thea was in no very good mood when the first rays of daylight crept through the windows.